Hello, hello. Welcome to a new stream. Today I'll be continuing working on the friend character. I already did an improved sketch a bit upstream. And let's see if Irbo or Axel will show up. What I'm going to do is I'm now going to make a colored version of this sketch. So all I have to do is make it a bit less visible. And for now, trace over it, which I don't actually need the pen for. And it seems there is someone present at least. Here, Axel, I mean, what's up? What's with the polls? I'm trying something new. I saw you can do polls in chat, so I want to see how people interact with them. Plus, you know me, Axel, you know that I love asking stupid questions. So I see it as a win-win opportunity. Oh, by the way, after last night's stream, I made a second version of the sketch, which is this one, far more improved of the yesterday's version, which was a bit more rough. I made it a bit bigger and meant a bit going downwards, cut off the legs. Yeah, yesterday you saw this version, but you can see a lot away. The open blazer jacket, the ties you suggested, and also added a hoodie. I haven't drawn the hair yet though. But what I want to do is I am now basically at this version. So I now want to make a colored version to get an idea of what I want the character to be. How has your day been, Axel? I was about to watch Yamada after watching my team's match. Okay, did your team win? Well, my day kind of a roller coaster. We had a art exam today. Oh, was it difficult, your art exam? What did you do during the exam? What kind of arts? Real art history or mostly just drawing, painting? I probably. Oh, that's not good. I had an art class back in high school. Oh, it was mostly art history. And I really sucked at it. Do you have some? The way we do our exams is based on scenarios, so it's more of testing the capabilities of student thinking process for certain situations. That sounds complicated. Can you give me an example of how I should imagine that? Like, what do you do, for example? Okay, in terms of drawing, this part is a bit unexciting as I'm just drawing black lines. Oh, it was also pretty warm today. Summer is coming again. I think he does look pretty cool with his blazer, but I only wish he wasn't bald. Alright, for example, in Ice-T we were told that the company was holding an event for upcoming parents on how to do parental care, but the problem is the authorities don't know how to use the ICT tools. Oh, okay. That's an interesting scenario indeed. How do you solve that problem? You need to find someone that knows how to use them. My task is to guide them on how to use the ICT tools and show them how to keep it safe. Okay. But the exam was difficult, you said? At least you thought you failed. So I got a yep from my brain with immaculate English pretty boring. Yeah, I can imagine. Phew. The outlining is also pretty boring to do, but I need to do it, otherwise I cannot have a college version. I will do the head some other time though. Well, I was told to draw some shit and drew a horse that looked half dead, couldn't care less. Okay, half dead. Forget about me. How have you been? Today has well, not much has happened today. I was watching some Toradora. I'm at episode 10 or something, almost halfway through. So I think that's the main portion. That means we now have to just color this in with some bucket tools. Axel, what do you think would be a cool color to use? You know, the previous character was green with brown, because this character was based around the idea of a kiwi fruit. But for this character, I had not thought about it yet. Maybe something blue. What kind of color do you? Dark blue, okay. I'll do that. I'll quickly make the pocket square. And then I'll make it dark blue. Okay, let's see. A good dark blue, something like... Whoa. There's a hole somewhere, so where is... Here. Carry on. Always needing to fix some holes, otherwise the thing breaks. Okay, this part is... I think I will make the hoodie something like white or light gray. For that, I first need to make this part actually connected to the hoodie. And the... there are so many holes in the work. And I don't know always where they are. Okay, I think I know where this hole is. One is right here and one should be over here. Hmm. How's work, by the way? I mean, fine. I don't have much to say about it. So this the blazer. The inside of the blazer can be any color, like nice dark. And then there's the hoodie, which I first need to separate over here. And where's the sketch? Okay. First need to do this, have it properly separated. Him said you worked in like a... Who knows? We don't even have Walmarts here though. That's more of an American thing, I think. Okay, right. So here you have the suit, the hoodie, and the belt can be like something very dark-ish with a gold or silver buckle. Ooh. And this is the first color sketch, minus the head part. I kind of see you wearing light blue jeans with that blue thing on the top of their shirt. Light blue jeans with the blue thing on the top of the shirt. Now it makes sense. I was confused for a bit. What very confused about. Alright, I forgot the pocket square. So the color of the pocket square can be anything. If any, I will probably remove the pocket square entirely. Because that's way too formal for just a too cool for school kind of guy. Okay, this makes no sense. This is supposed to be hands, and this is supposed to be the hoodie sleeve. So I have to fix that quickly. That has to be a bit wider. And then this will be skin color, but I'll just steal the skin color quickly. And there you go. You have essentially this version, but with not so thick outlines and with no head. Oh, right. My drinking is very loud, I assume. It's because my mic is right here, connected to my headphones. I also think maybe gold is too cool for him. Maybe better is silver. Something like that. And make the backgrounds in different colors so it doesn't look too confusing. There's so much gray, it wouldn't really work if I used gray in the background. Okay, we need a head. And Airbo is not here today. That's a shame. Well, what is there to do? I have to draw the head, I have to do some shading and some detailing. So the chest needs to be a bit more out. Is he supposed to be the cool dude who don't give a fuck about anything? Yes, essentially. That's essentially what his role is supposed to be. I need to make his chest a bit more out because right now it's a bit close to the shirt. And this part filled with paint buckets. He's probably gonna show up later. I hope, because I want to do something with you two guys in stream. Something related to this one right here. But I can only do it if he is here. Okay, I think that's a bit better. Yeah, you wouldn't say it, but a man's chest, men have chest, so thanks, I am him. I'm sure you will save it in your folder later. I will save it in my folder later. I already have it saved in my folder, to be precise. You should make a poll saying if I should goon tonight. The answer is yes, I don't need to poll for that. Okay, what is there, right? Of course you have detailings with this and the tie. So let's quickly draw a toy. But for tie I don't really need outlining. I just need some red. Is that Paul for you or Doom? For him. Or maybe it's for the airbow. We don't know. Tie is super long, so and also gets wider as you get closer to the end. And of course a bit pointy. Now fill it. And there you go, you have a tie. No work, hardly any. I can even do a quick outline without even doing the outline. So also directly a quick outline. But actually, no, I won't do that. I think James is the only one who don't goon in the group, right? I think Amy doesn't goon either. I don't see her as the type either. The tie looks cool. Thanks. You know, I want a red tie. But when I bought a tie last time, I bought a black one. Because while I think red is cooler, black ties are more functional for general purposes. Because you can wear black with any color. Red you can only wear with either if you're wearing red or dark blue like this. And I rarely wear red or dark blue. Right now I'm wearing a brown orangey. Do you know how to tie a tie? Why do I outline it? I don't have to outline it today even. Let's see. We have this, I think. Well, this has what my version doesn't have. My new character is the shading. So we'll do quick shading as well, which is easy. It's just first take all the colors and then we'll just draw a bit on top of it. the back will always be shaded dark because that's far away from the player's view. The arms. I also like to use shading as a form of outlining, personally. A bit more shade on the back. This lag is hitting like a train. Is your stream lagging? Oh, it starts raining. I hope that, let me check the stream. Is it on my end the problem? No, my YouTube says it's excellent. So I don't think it's the problem on my end. This part, this the shoulder, that one can completely be shaded because shading is also a way to say that something is far away. The problem is on my end. Okay. Ooh, this the lapel is a bit above the suit, so to represent that you also shade that apart a bit. Not too thickly, but to say, hey, it's a bit hovering above. And the pocket squares can also have an additional layer of shade. Doesn't need. Ah, why do I even do that? I was planning to remove the pocket square. How do you like to shade your drawings, Axel? Do you like to shade realistically or more suggestively like I do? Okay, how do I shade this part? I think the down part can be all shaded in, but the up part is being hit by the light, so the one only needs to be a bit shaded on the sides. One step is like a general idea, and then I make it realistic. It's also a good way, a good approach. That's the great about art. Everyone has their own way of doing, and what you see is everyone has their own unique art style. And that makes art always interesting to see. This one is a bit more targeted by the chest, so if the light comes from here, the chest shading will be right here. Next, that means this is approximately the shading for all the blue parts without the fancy shading. Well, I can do it a bit better like so. And I also forgot to do the arms. But no matter the technique, I still okay. I don't know how can I help you with shading. I've also never been really good at shading myself. I always just wing it. That's my way of doing. And that's why I will never become an art teacher, because I really cannot help you with those kinds of questions. Also, I forgot to draw the buttons, but I don't need details anyway, so detailing can come later. And yeah, that's basically the rough shading idea for the blue. Now we'll do the rough shading idea for the hoodie, which is maybe a lot easier. Bro, it's not shading, even drawing in general. I'm so bad I can't draw to say. I would like to see your drawing someday though. I'm really curious as to what kind of skill level you are and how I could help you get better. While I'm not good as a teacher, I always try to help people if I have the opportunity. The thing about shading in this case is also acts as a bit of an outline for where the folds are going. So I can even make some folds that weren't there originally. The one thing I always hate doing when drawing characters is the folds in clothing. Even though folds make physically sense as it's just physics, it just doesn't compute in my head. Like something about it just doesn't add up. Like what do I right? I also need shading in terms of its hidden bit behind the blazer. Yep, this is just rough shading. And this is the chest area. But what do I do here? Now think about it. The hoodie needs to be a bit more downwards, which is more, I feel like it would be more something like so. And then it goes over to, I will have to fix that later. Draw a circle and starting from that circle horizontally. Draw a rectangle once done. On the bottom of the rectangle, draw cylindrical lines. Going vertically, congrats, that's how I draw a donkey. Hang on, I need to process what you just said, how you draw a donkey. Let me try to follow your instructions. Okay, draw a circle and start from that circle horizontally, draw a rectangle once done. What, like so? A rectangle from the circle. Once done, on the bottom of the rectangle, draw cylinders. Going vertically, congrats. Like 3D cylinders, like so. This right here is your approximation of a donkey. Is this correct, Axel? Well, to be fair, I don't know how to draw a donkey from my head. How I would do it if I don't have reference material. I would also start with something like so. I imagine the head to be a bit more triangle. The torso would be more this shape with the tail. And with the legs a bit like so. That's how I imagine a donkey would look like without reference material. Oh yeah, of course, ears. Yeah, pretty much. By the way, after 5 years, still in square one. Okay, where were we? Right, we were doing the shading, so the back of the hoodie will completely be shaded because to show depth, it's always a good idea to draw super far away as just completely shaded. And as that way, everything in the front will stand out a bit more. So this, if we remove the sketch layer, if I can find where the sketch layer was. What do you think, Axel? Is this a good first shading? This is without shading. This is with shading. I haven't done the gray and tie yet. And I can basically do the pants completely shaded, which is just to show that you don't need to look at the pins at all. And I need to do the... do I even need to do this inside parts? I think I can keep the inside parts also completely shaded. Or in this case, not doing the shading at all. The only thing to do is the toy, right? So I want the hoodie to be a bit more downwards. Well, you know, your first pixel art that I was present in was 1 month ago. Which one was that? Again, that was when I was still doing 16 by 16 things, right? I want to do quickly make the hoodie a bit bigger though. That's the thing about sometimes you realize you want to do something after you have not you've already done so much other stuff that feels like you're going backwards. Have you been enjoying my pixel art streams though? That's the more important part. Because I'm always afraid that my streams aren't fun to watch, as they aren't as chaotic as his subby streams. Okay, so I will make the hoodie a bit bigger. And then I just copy and paste all this into here. And you know what the best part is? This is like the in-between moment of where I have fun and where I don't have fun. Like the sketching part is really fun. The finishing touching part is really fun. But this in-between stage where I'm just doing this bare minimum, trying to make it look presentable, is really boring, to me at least. I hope by next stream I will be doing the finishing touching phase because that will be really fun to watch as I will add stuff like dithering and will like correct some of colors to make it pop out more. And of course extra finishing touches like additional little details. And I also need to quickly look up a picture of a hoodie for a moment. Okay, here we have a guy wearing a hoodie, so we can use that as reference material. Okay, the hoodie part goes over each other if you look closely, instead of being directly connected. And the hoodie also falls with gravity like so. That's basically what the gravity part is correct, but I needed to have one side more going over it, right? So we'll going to erase this part for a bit. And have one side cover the other part. And the hoodie is a bit more rounded around the collar. As opposed to being super sharp. So now it does look a bit more like a hoodie. Otherwise it's super flat, and I didn't draw any pockets in my version. The pockets would be here, but I feel like they would be covered by the tie and all the wrinklage. But hang on. Hoodie has a elastic band, which would most definitely cover up the belt. So instead of showing the belt, we will make that part of the hoodie instead, right? So it really looks like this part is of the hoodie. And it makes him also look a bit more like a chill guy instead of the super formal guy showing his belt. Yeah, that's okay. Axel, I will also leave in a bit. I need to take a shower. I just asked which stream was the first one you watched? Because I forgot what I drew back then. I think I will do quickly. No, not quickly. This is I can do in terms. What do I want to say? Make it a bit nicer, I think. So, Axel, how do you feel if someone wears a formal suit with a informal hoodie underneath? You drew pizza, right? Was that during a did I draw pizza on stream? I know which pizza you mean. Let me get it for a moment. You mean this pizza right here, right? I don't think I do it on stream, but I have used it as stream thumbnails. Well, the thumbnail is a pizza. Yep, that was because back then I didn't really have much to put on the thumbnails besides my latest pizza drawing. So what do you think, Axel? Is this a good shading? I think the shading for dark blue is a bit much. I want it to be a bit less dark. It's not dark enough. No, I'll keep it like this for now. What do you think, Axel? Do I need to change something besides the tie? Let's see the reference. He doesn't have a good pose to use as a reference, unfortunately. But I did forget something else important, and that is the straps. Which will be, so I'll color in later. It looks nice. That's nice to hear. And that's approximately ditch this version right here, I think. That means once we have done the head, we can move on to make it really look good. And that will be really exciting for me to see. Yes, I think overall I am satisfied with how he looks. Maybe if I make the shading a bit darker like so, but I can always do that later. Right, I've done the back of the hoodie either. I need to draw this part out too. And the reason I was a bit neglecting this part is I don't know how the head will look like. You see? So all we have to do is we draw a head on top of this and then we have to fix the shading, add some extra detailing. You thought I ended stream? Alright, I forgot one small thing. And that is I also need to add buttons right here. There's some minor detailing that I really should not forget in a next stream. The buttons, the pinhole, and more buttons. Water. How cold is bro supposed to be? I would say about minus 10 degrees Celsius. Plus or minus 5 degrees. What do you think? 10 degrees for this dude. 10 degrees C, that's this dude right here. Minus 10 degrees, he's cool. He's super cool, so cool he can freeze ice. I mean freeze water. So cool he can freeze water by himself. Oh, which side are the buttons? This is the side of the buttons. That means on this side are supposed to be holes. Right? Yeah, on this side are supposed to be holes for where the buttons go in. 6.7 degrees, you think? Are we talking degrees? Also, I think this one also needs to be more going inside the hoodie. Other details. this part, the inside. Where is my tool? I will make that. If I can find what I'm looking for. This part will be nicely textured, not with this texture though. I meant the meme. Oh. Yeah, I banned that one meme from chat. Okay, so I'm not planning to do texturing in the suit outside to keep it nice and clean, but I do love me some nice patterns, and that's what I will do in the inside. You're upset I banned me. Yeah, I banned it because in an earlier stream there were a bunch of annoying children that kept spamming it. But that and the word Fortnite is the only thing I really banned. Because, you know, I don't want 5-year-olds in my stream chat. May I know why the girl in your thumbnail doesn't wear a bra? Let me check. That was this girl, right? What did I turn on back then? Was this it? I... Yeah, let me see. If we assume that this is the girl, why does she not wear a bra? The real question here is, how is this connected? How are these two connected? Like, how are these two connected to one another? Is there like a strap on the back? And what about the part right here? Like, is it like connected by one tiny thread of fabric? Don't question the art. You will only get more and more confused. But I can make this a bit sharper. Can this looks nice. And I need to make the shadow also pretty sharp. That is something like so. And now he's the Headless Horseman. Headless cool dude. Too cool for school. I think that's pretty good for today. Well, I can quickly do a... Yeah, let's give some folds to the tie quickly. Wouldn't be to really show that it's been bent. Nope. Okay, that's the character for today. I need to get this one head as well. And if we quickly color that in, we'll be able to get a good idea of what he will be looking like once we finish the work. Besides the fact that he's bald right now. So this is the current version of the sketch. I'm so behind, aren't I? I don't know, are you behind? So what do you think? Does he look cool enough to not go to school? His head would be more like here, I think. Why does he look like a scammer in his 30s? Because he's just so cool, he scams people. Or it's because he's bald as fuck. You know, fine, I'll give him quickly a nice haircut. So he doesn't look as lame. If I can find the hair color. Key hair. We'll give him a quick, nice haircut. Well, that's what he'll be having to work with. That's what he'll be having to work with right now. This abomination of hair. He needs hair. Okay, let me. Okay, next stream I will give him some proper hair. Because right now I really need to take a shower and I will quit streaming a bit. But if you ignore the hair for now, what do you think? Do you think he's a minus 10 degrees Celsius worth? Still no answer. That's a shame. Okay, so I will show you one last thing. Yes, I will end stream in just a bit. It's been like an hour already. How long have I been live? Yeah, just a bit over an hour. So I will just do one last thing. And that's just messing around, see that I won't get banned from YouTube. I want to just quickly work with this image. Make it as cursed as possible. I was hoping that Irba would be here for this part. But oh well, we'll go around the hand. And then we'll filter it with, if I can find it. What do you, that's what I'm gonna leave you with. Thanks for watching. Bye.